Morning. It's a sad, sad day for both the Philadelphia Fire Department and the citizens of the city of Philadelphia. At 0638 this morning, companies responded to 869 North 23rd Street. Upon arrival, they found heavy fire emanating from the front of a three-story row dwelling on the second floor. Companies began an aggressive attack on the fire, and in the process discovered that there were multiple fatalities at this location. The fire was extinguished, and it was terrible. I've been around for 35 years now, and this is probably one of the worst fires I've ever been to. We are working with the fire marshal's office. We plan on and intend on getting a cause for this fire. We plan on getting to making sure that this tremendous loss of life did not happen in vain. As for right now, that number is dynamic because there's still an ongoing recovery effort inside via the fire marshal and the ATF. And that number sits right now at 13. We also had 8 people self-evacuate. This dwelling was a duplex. The first floor had the first floor and the rear of the second floor, and the second floor had the front of the second floor and the third floor. I don't have the words for how we're feeling right now as a community and as a department. We also transported Philadelphia Fire Department EMS, transported 2 other occupants to one to Children's Hospital, obviously a child, and then the other to Temple University Hospital. So as of right now, the fire marshal along with the ATF, like I mentioned before, are in the process of doing a thorough investigation of this terrible event.
Do you have evidence of smoke detectors in that building or fire safety equipment?
There were 4 smoke detectors in that building, and none of them operated.
None of them operated at all?
Can you confirm this was a PHA, Philadelphia Housing Authority owned home?
Absolutely, it was.
Are you aware of any inspections by the Philadelphia Housing Authority? When were those inspections?
Sure. So there was an inspection done by the Philadelphia Housing Authority in 2019. When they went out in 2019, they installed 4 smoke detectors. And there was another inspection in 2020. And when they went out at that time, they installed 2 smoke detectors.
2 more? 2 additional smoke detectors? So at 2020, you had 6 working smoke detectors during that last inspection?
According to PHA, yes.
Are they hardwired smoke detectors?
13 who passed away, how many were children and how many were adults? Could you break down?
Well, to remember, that number's dynamic right now, but as of what we know, 7 children.
Now, how many, are you aware, and have you got a number of how many people were actually living in these 2 units?
So, and this number's preliminary as well.
I understand.
So the first floor, we're getting reports that 8 people lived in the first floor unit, and this number is very dynamic. The second, when I say first floor unit, I mean first and a half of second. So the second and third floor unit, that number was 18.
So 18 people have been living in the second and third floor of that building. Is 18 over any amount that would be allowed?
I can't really answer that question. That's an L&I, that's a license and inspection question on occupancy. But that is a tremendous amount of people to be living in a duplex.
Were the smoke detectors battery powered or hardwired? Should there have been an alarm system hardwired with that many people in an apartment building like that?
No, they were battery operated, and they were 10-year lithium batteries in these smoke detectors. They weren't hardwired.
Did not operate.
Where the fire started? Any indication of where the fire started?
Too early, Walter. Too early. That's information that we're gathering right now.
Now, any difficulties, can you talk about any of the difficulties of getting people out of this home? I mean, egress windows, any of those sort of things? What can you tell us why it was so difficult to get people out?
So, in all honesty, it really wasn't difficult to get people out. They got people out very quickly. The two that were transported to those local hospitals were immediately transported and taken to hospital by our members. So when they got to them, they were able to remove them.
There are unconfirmed reports online or on social media that there was problems getting through dispatch that may have slowed the response. Totally. Do you know of anything like that?
No.
Okay.
Why do you think the loss of life was so dramatic, so quick? You get here and you find them. I mean, what's going on?
There was heavy fire, and what would be for them the kitchen area, the front of the second floor, and then there was an open stairwell to the third floor. So the only thing that was slowing that fire down from moving was nothing slowing that fire down from moving. That fire was moving.
What's it feeding on? Is there any particular substance in there it's feeding on?
It's feeding on contents, it's feeding on oxygen, and it's feeding on fire.
Chief, is it considered suspicious just as a standard procedure to look at this, or how do you label this right now?
It's under investigation from the fire marshal's office right now. It's not necessarily considered suspicious, but we have all hands on deck because of the magnitude of this fire.
Mayor Kenny, you're
Chief,
the son of a firefighter.
Yeah.
Firefighting's in your blood.